Production Raw Material Planning in Simpra Inventory. Raw Material Planning is the module where we plan the raw materials required in the relevant store where production is carried out for the production stock items we want to produce. We can see how much of which raw material we need in this module, and we can also open the requests for the raw materials that we do not have in order to make production from this area. To access raw material planning in production, log in to the production module under Cost Controls. Then come to Raw Material Planning. When we press the Add Raw Material Plan button, we must first select the store where we will produce. Then we select the relevant production date. We can create our raw material planning manually. We can create it by calling it from the production lists we have previously created. If a transfer request has been made from another store to our production store, we can create it by showing the requests, and we can create the raw material planning from our production plans we have previously created. If we want to create a raw material plan manually, let's press the Add Raw Material Plan button after checking the Manual field, and then call the stock ITE we are going to produce. For example, burger bread, and we will produce 1,000 pieces. Let's press the Add Production Good button. From the screen that appears, let's press the Show Raw Materials button to see how much raw materials we need for the production of 1,000 pieces of burger bread. For 1,000 pieces of burger bread, we see that we need 100 kilos of bread flour, 2 kilos of table salt, and 2 kilos of yeast. In the Need field, we see how much raw material is needed in total, and in the On-Road field, if there is a purchase order, it is written in the On-Road field for the relevant product. The Stock on Hand field shows how much of the relevant stocks in the production store are on hand. For example, there is a need of 100 kilos. 20 kilos will come with the order. Based on the fact that there are 16.5 kilograms in the stock on hand, it shows that the difference is 63.5 kilograms, so our actual need will be 63.5 kilograms. Likewise, for salt tableware, it shows that 2 kilograms of salt tableware is needed for 1,000 pieces of hamburger bread. It shows that the stock on hand is 815 grams and indicates that there is a recommended need of 1 kilogram, 185 grams. When we look at the yeast, it shows that the need is 2 kilograms, but the stock on hand is 4 kilograms, 970 grams. In other words, it writes 0 to the quantity as no need. We can make a raw material plan from this area, as well as create demand as much as the recommended amount. For example, we can select Transfer as the request type and choose from which store we will request the transfer of flour bread, for example, from the main store. In the same way, if we are not going to create a transfer request for salt table salt, we can select it as a purchase order if we are going to create a purchase order. When we say Save and Create a Request, a screen opens again with the request numbers, and when we say OK, we create our requests.